Hello, business owners, coaches, consultants, entrepreneurs. I'm going to do something really unique in this video. I'm going to go into the single number one best method I've ever used in years and years of running companies that has attracted my dream clients. I'm talking clients that have now been with me for 15 years in a row, 11 years in a row, big corporations that hire me as a trainer for 8, 9, 10 years in a row. I'm talking the clients I love to attract. And there's one method I've used, and in this video, I'm going to show you what it is, and I'm going to go a little deeper. So I'm going to slow down a little bit, and I want to explain to you the thinking behind this method. It is easier than you think. I want you to, if possible, be open to it. Please have an open mind, because this is an incredible way to acquire clients for your business. Then I'm going to go into, after the thinking behind it, the mindset and the beliefs and assumptions, I'm going to go into what you can do to move toward this and start doing this, some simple steps. And then I have a surprise gift for you at the end to thank you for sticking around. So thank you for being here, and let's get started. Hey, by the way, if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Alexander Van Buren. I've been an entrepreneur for 30 years as of this year, 2025, in multiple businesses, and I've been successful. I'm fortunate, and I love entrepreneurship. And I basically specialize in helping entrepreneurs and business owners, people out on their own who want to, do their own thing, to become, I would say, 10, 20, 50 times more resourceful in ways you can't even describe. With 30 years of NLP master practitioner, I use their map of the world, an elegant coaching process, and help them make changes in their beliefs, their assumptions, their states, and all kinds of things. And they start to get into an entrepreneurial momentum that's unparalleled. And I think that's another reason why clients have stayed with me for many years. So that's essentially a snapshot of what I do. Now on to our selected topic here, my single favorite lead generation method that costs nothing, doesn't involve any content creation, no money to spend. Here it comes. I know you're ready for it. Okay, here it is. The single, solitary, best way to generate phenomenal clients pouring in batches is to give presentations. And before you have an immediate response, you probably already had one. Oh, you're going to have to get in front of an audience. It's the number one fear in the universe. Hold on to your socks. Pause for a minute. It's easier than you think. And I want to explain why it's so effective, why it's easier to do than you ever thought possible. And then, like I said, the next section will be how to get started and start moving in the direction of doing it and making it real, instead of making excuses and reasons like, well, I don't think that's for me, I'm not a good speaker, and all of that stuff. So let's start at the beginning. First, you don't have to be a great presenter to do this. Now, if you know a little bit about me, it's 17 years ago. In 2008, I launched a National Speakers Bureau. So 17 years, we have 3,200 plus speakers. I've seen thousands of speakers. I know the speaker world. I'm a conference junkie. My other company is a seminar company. I'm telling you, I know this. I've seen conference speakers that were fumbling. They were kind of nervous. And I was sitting there. They were up against big name speakers, and they were the new person. And I was thinking about buying what they had. And I even had more respect for them because they had the courage to get up there. More than one of them said, I'm kind of new to this and everything. And it was kind of charming. And by the way, I'm not even recommending that you get in front of big conference audiences. I'm going to suggest you start with small workshops. People will start responding to you. You're sharing what you know, what you love. So set aside the idea that you have to be a great speaker or really even a good speaker. You don't. There's an attractive factor to being a new speaker. And you can actually say, hey, I'm new at this. I may be a little rough. Cut me a break, and people do it. I want to tell you something else I've learned from years in the speakers world. And in fact, I've been a presenter longer than I owned a bureau. My entire adult life, from the time I was underage, I've been a professional presenter. And I'm here to tell you, People don't care if your presentation is perfect. If you have ums and ahs, like they count at Toastmasters, it's almost irrelevant. They don't care. There are cases of famous talk show hosts that had hundreds of ums, and they have millions watching them and a huge fan base, right? So put aside the idea that you have to be an excellent speaker, that you can't make mistakes in your presentations. People don't care. Can those things be a little distracting? Yes, and you want to minimize, too many distractions. But what people are really calibrating to is your authenticity. Are you really there to help them? Can you give them something they can use? And even if you're fumbling a little, you can't completely fumble around. You have to have a basic presentation, but that's pretty simple, right? So this is a reframe. You don't have to be phenomenal. This is easier than you think. It's a simple, basic outline presentation, and I'm going to go into that a little bit. So this should make this much more appealing and feel more doable and possible. You perhaps may have thought up till now, I'm not a good speaker. Remember any of that limiting self-talk? Pause it. Set it aside. It's easier than you think. You just do a basic presentation. So that's secret number one. It's easier than you think. I want to give you secret number two. This, when you're speaking to people, when you're making a presentation, it's probably the single solitary, most powerful and effective way to create a connection. And and you've probably heard the saying that we do business with people we know, like, and trust. Know, are familiar with, like, and trust. So of all the ways to get somebody to know you, like you, and trust you, presenting is at the top of the list. Why? Well, stop and think about it here in YouTube. One of the most powerful methods for getting out there with content is to make YouTube videos. You're basically presenting. But let's set that aside. Let's say you're not going to start a YouTube channel any day now, but doing simple outreach. You're going to get out and you're going to appear in front of small groups doing a little brief presentation in your city. I want you to hold that idea. And the idea that when you get there, people experience you. They experience your authenticity, what you know. You're there to help them. They form a bond. I have all kinds of techniques for deepening that, and I think why I have methods for screening in your, out people that are not your dream clients, so that instead of trying to close everybody in the room in your offer or coaching program, you close only those who are really a great fit. So that's a dream client secret. Don't try and get everybody, even everyone who could pay for it. It's not about the money. It's about the dream clients. Those dream clients will pay in advance, in full. They'll appreciate you. They appreciate your wisdom. They're great students, and we could fill in other criteria that you have. Those are some of mine. They show up on time. They have integrity. They do the work. You see, I have a list. But you get the idea. Almost nothing you could do, certainly not these goofy cold emails. I've done the outreach on LinkedIn, the more personal, the better, and other platforms, Facebook groups. Okay. But there's nothing better than looking someone in the eye and talking. I have a section I do in some of my presentations where I actually do a coaching, I do some of the things I referenced earlier. I'll go into Uptime and I'll coach someone and give them insights about their map of the world and give them a breakthrough on the spot. And they go, whoa, and I tell them why this distinction is so important. And then I go next, and they step up to a microphone. After I've done 4 or 5, I've had all 4 or 5 that I did sign up for a coaching program in the $5,000 to $10,000 range. Now, you may not have that, but you get the idea. There are things you can do that even deepen that bond. There's nothing better than doing a presentation. It's easier than you think. It's okay if you fumble a little bit. Come on, you're putting this off. It's easier because it's going to be in your local hometown. And I can even show you how to get these presentations, and it doesn't cost you a dime. And people will bond to you. They start to know you, like you, and trust you. Now, you have to be authentic. You have to have something to really offer them. So you have to know about your audience and have something for real. And there's a cardinal rule. Never pretend to know something you don't. Then people won't like you, and they'll question everything, right? So, and probably one other thing I want to teach you how to do is when you do these brief presentations, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, I can show you how to do them and make them easy. You want to be, I've already mentioned authentic, but you also want to be over prepared. So you even want to be able to have responses to questions that you don't know the answers to. And then you feel confident. And you also want to over rehearse so that you can concentrate on the audience and not what you're going to say. That's right out of my speaker training program. I want to say that again. Way, way, way over rehearse. Get comfortable with your presentation. Rehearse it out loud with a dummy microphone if you have one, stand, whatever. Do it, do it, do it, do it, and then do it some more. Till you're so comfortable you can be interrupted in the middle of it, and then you pick it right back up. And in fact, I've always done this for all my presentations, and it's why I've received, standing ovations and everything. I once gave a talk at a group on, like as a Speakers Bureau owner, as a bunch of speakers. And they were asking me all these questions. I just authentically answered them, and I gave them all the insights. I went, guys, I'm out of time. Thank you. And they just stood up and applauded. I guess women came up and said, you got a standing ovation. I'm like, well, I just gave it all I got. I just shared what I knew. It's easier than you think. I'm going to repeat it. Okay, these are a few of the key insights. Let me move on now. I hope you're interested and excited that this may be more possible for you than you ever thought. That's really my intention. Now I want to move on to a few other key points and some action steps that you can start taking to start doing this and put it on your calendar as an initiative, as a project. So let's get into that. So here are 5 things you can do that will help you move in the direction of doing local presentations where people sign up for your coaching programs, they accept your offer, and literally more than one at a time. So you're now doing one-to-many, and how you can make this doable. And instead of being afraid or terrified or worried, you actually have confidence when you go out. And I look forward to doing these. I can't wait. And it's especially great when you're invited back again. Then when they introduce you to say, oh man, he or she was a great success last year and they're back, So like you have a born in, guaranteed, authority. So let's start with the first one, number 1. Action step number 1 is to design your own workshop or presentation based around your coaching expertise. What kind of coaching do you do? Is it transformational coaching, life coaching? Are you a consultant? But your area of expertise, what do you do? And take out a folder. I like to put it in folders because you're going to have a few pages. And take out a page, however you do it, digitally or physically. I usually use both, but I like to scribble. But this is now a project, and this is step 1. So here we go. Like, stop hesitating, do it. This doesn't cost anything. I gave you a bunch of the reasons, but you've got to convince yourself you're going for it. And one of the best ways is take out a piece of paper and get started. Outline a basic presentation, and I want to give you the basic keys. First is an introduction. Hi, I'm Alexander, and in the next 30 minutes, I'm going to help you A, B, and C. Like, the first thing is to introduce yourself and give them a reason to listen to you. 2, you give them the benefits in step 1. And then the next part of the presentation should be something like, here's who I am. In other words, a little credibility. So like you might say, I do this and I've been a coach for this long. So that's part 2 of your basic presentation. Step 3. So let's get into it. And you go through parts 1, parts 2, parts 3. Like, here are the 3 big insights, and it's this simple. You say, here's secret number 1, or here's principle number 1. And there are basically things you can do with it. You name it, you explain it, you can tell a story about it, about one of your coaching clients or something, give some action steps, and then summarize it. Boom, 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 boom. You're listening to a guy who's watched thousands of motivational speakers and presenters because I own a speakers bureau. Please take notes. Sorry, I didn't mean to brag. But think about it. I've been on over 100 speaker videos in a single day. I remember because we counted, looking for a speaker outside our roster. So this is how you do it, okay? So let's see. After you lay out the things, the next to the last thing is you build some sort of emotional crescendo. Give an emotional story, something that's great, motivates them, and then give a call to action right there. Step up. You want to have an offer. Come up, give me your business card, and I'll send you this free, etc. and we can talk about a possible coaching program if you're interested. Something easy. You can ask them to come up to you afterwards. You can, you can make this as complicated as you want. You can say, take out your phone and here's a page on my website and it's an opt-in page and you add them to a list. Lots of things, but have a simple call to action. They can come and get started with you. Remember, it needs to be front end. Don't offer a $10,000, $5,000, even $2,500 coaching plan unless you're speaking from the platform in some big event. That's different. At a local place, a local association, a local group, okay, where your prospective avatars are you're presenting, or close. You want to just have a simple, easy, they call it a front end. Now, front end means minimal cost, minimal effort, and minimal commitment on their part, meaning it's easy to get started with you. Hey, come up, give me your business card, or put it in the dish, or this, or that's a great one, and I will email you this document and this special thing, and it's a free report, and here's what it'll help you do. And then if you're interested, I'll email you. We can talk about a coaching plan, but that's not required. You make it easy for them to get started. Low commitment, low effort and energy. So this is really important. Most people make the mistake of offering something too big. Don't offer your coaching program. Offer something smaller. Hey, I want to offer you a half price breakthrough session with me. It's normally this much. Let's just come up, give me your business card. I'll email you and we'll set it up. See how easy and approachable it is. This is the most important thing about your call to action, and that it's targeted for them, something they want and need, not what you want and need. So you need to understand your avatar and make the right offer, something that's appealing. I sometimes make two offers. I'll make one like that. By the way, you want to collect their data. Don't give them your business card, because then you don't have a way to follow up. Say, no, I need your, they come and say, well, give them your card. Say, no, I need your card. That's another secret. Otherwise, you give out these cards and people are hesitant to follow up, but you won't be. You be proactive when you've got 10 or 15 or 20 cards. People will come up, they meet you, they look you in the eye, and you have that bond. Remember? It's like magic. And now you've had an actual experience. So it's not a cold email. You say, hey, it was nice to meet you at the event. Here's the document I promised. Let me know what you think. And then you follow up with a call. You've got their card, another email. Hey, would you like this? And you make another offer. It's like a no-brainer. And now you're on your way. And you have clients that have a personal experience of you. So that's the basic outline of the steps of your presentation. It's simple, it's clean, don't make it too fancy, and you want to write those out on paper, or in a document so that you can rehearse it part by part, and you want to have it down. Many years ago, my first presentation that I had on cruise ships, I actually booked myself on cruise ships, and I wrote out a presentation, and I went to a person who would coach me, and he said, take out a piece of paper. I was like, okay. He goes, I was booked on Princess Cruise Line for 2 10-day cruises, replacing the person on the ship. And I was going to do presentations. And I hadn't done a couple of them. I needed 3 of them. So think about this. So he said, number 1 to 25 on the first page, turn it over. And I'm like, what's going on? He goes, rehearse your presentation that you've never done in front of a live audience 50 times and check it off. A to Z, standing up loud in your dress, dress rehearsal. Do it. And by the end of this, you'll have done it 50 times in front of an imaginary audience. But he goes, this is the way you do it. And I respected him, and so I did it. I went to do those 2 10-day cruises. My presentations were so effective that the cruise director booked me again and again. And for years, I worked on Carnival, Western, and Princess cruise lines. And there it is. So, this is the secret. You want to over-rehearse it. So now you know how to outline it, and the single most important ingredient, over-rehearse it. Okay? Okay, action step number 2 is to find actual organizations, associations in your area, or virtual groups online, like Facebook groups and this or that, and you can have groups. You want to go into, search mode and start making a list. And I recommend you divide it into those two categories. This is where you're going to find who to reach out to. They're simple outreaches, real easy, and they don't cost you anything. And they're not like doing hundreds of them, on the outreach that people do on platforms like LinkedIn. This is much more personal. It's so much easier. And the conversion rate is phenomenal because these groups are typically dying for speakers. Associations are, a lot of them are looking for speakers. You're going to speak for free, but make an offer at the end. So first search for the associations in your local area. So search your city, like, I'd say Dallas associations. You want to look not just for associations, but use keywords related to your target market and your niche. So I might say, if I, want to speak in front of entrepreneurs, I might say, look up entrepreneur groups, associations, Dallas, or a city, and start looking through your Google search. You can get more sophisticated with this. You can use keyword tools and so on, but you get the idea. It's really simple. Don't complicate it. Create a list, and you go to the website, write down the contact email and the person. Usually it's right there, and write a phone number down. Okay, make a list. The second one is online groups, and obviously you probably know you want to go on to platforms like LinkedIn, Facebook, and others, and you want to type in the keyword box the keywords for your avatar and type in groups, the word groups. Okay, Facebook groups are famous, right? So I might type in like, let's say you're a consultant and you help people in the finance, so you might say financial groups, and you type that into Facebook. And you want to create a list of those groups. Go look at them, look at the ones that are a little bigger. And this is for doing a virtual presentation for their group. So you should have two lists, real simple. Take your time with it. This is action step number 2. You got to have some prospects. But think about it. This is not the endless searching, reaching out on these platforms. This is targeting and then offering. I'm going to show you how to offer yourself as a presenter. You're going to get more yeses than you might imagine. Okay, action step number 3 is to offer yourself as a speaker and presenter to these groups that you've identified, both local and physical, the real brick and mortar world, and online virtual groups. And the way to do it is you've got their contact information. You can email them, and you use a simple script. Hey, I'm a presenter on X, mention a brief thing. I was wondering if you might be looking for a presenter for one of your upcoming meetings for such and such association or group. Would you be interested? I speak on this, this, and this, and I'd be delighted to speak with you. Are you interested? That's it. I also even recommend calling them, following up, leaving even a voicemail. Hi, I'm Alexander. I'm a presenter on this. And I was wondering if you might be looking for a real good dynamic presentation for your such and such group. If so, please feel free to give me a call back or email me at, thanks, Bob, and I leave a voicemail. It's that simple. Now, if you're not comfortable making those calls, I am comfortable doing it. I highly recommend it as a follow-up to the email. It's one of the best lead generation methods you can do. If they don't call you back or email you, it's no big deal. Always leave a voicemail, snapshot with a way to get back to you. Simple email outreach, one by one, just do a few. Before you know it, someone will respond. I guarantee it, because they're looking for good presenters. It helps, obviously, if you have a website, you can put your website there in the sign off, and they'll look at it and see who you are. Great. It's that simple. Action step number 4 is to prepare your presentation carefully. I gave you a basic outline. You can play with it a little bit. It's that simple. Remember, you're looking at a small group. It's almost a little workshop oriented. In fact, I left that one step I always include because I'm a trainer. But I always put in some audience involvement thing, like an exercise. Okay, grab a partner. Well, don't grab them, but find somebody, and then I'll do this. People love to do stuff instead of just hearing a lecture. So the more, work in something in your presentation where they can do something. So, okay, add that to the 5-step things. It's like a bonus of the outline. But this step, action step 4, is lay it out, set up your rehearsal space with if it's a bigger group, you need a microphone. But a podium or something, they usually have one. You don't want to stand behind the podium. You want to walk out behind it. But you might want to have your notes on the podium. And then, I mean, Zig Ziglar, one of the greatest motivational speakers of all time, did this. He had his notes on the podium. He'd look at him walking around the podium and then talk to you. When he got to the pause, you can see this on video. Sometimes he'd be down on one knee in front of a stadium. He'd stop, pause, turn his back on the audience, walk back to the podium, look at his notes in silence, and go, and the next point I want to make is, okay? So practice with you can have a music stand if you don't want to invest in a podium. I have like 3 of them. Just a music stand. You get it for $25 on Amazon. And you set your notes on it. It's a pretend podium. Put it on a clipboard. This is how you rehearse. Put on the clothes like this, that you'll be presenting in, like, whatever it is. And over-rehearse your presentation till you know it cold. Rehearse the opening. Rehearse the segue. The bio about you should be pretty short. Then, insight 1, insight 2, insight 3, because you only have 45 minutes probably at most. Professional speakers present for an hour. If they want an hour, you can do more of an exercise and Q&A and stuff at the end. It's easy. So the idea is over-rehearse it, the ending call to action, do it, do it, do it, rehearse it. This is action step 4. You got to know it cold. This is what creates confidence. Confidence is the result of skill and capability. For years, people have complimented me on my confidence, and I almost always turn to them and say, I've never gone for being a confident presenter. I appreciate the compliment, but I've never tried to be confident. I just get into a state where I want to give them something awesome and give it all I've got and be immaculate and so good at it and authentic that they go, wow. People come and go, wow, how'd you become so confident? I go, I never even think of it. So this is another secret from a veteran presenter and Speakers Bureau owner. Confidence is not an outcome. It's a result of capability and skill. When I over-rehearsed those 3 presentations 50 times each, you don't have to do 50, but if you want, because I knew I was going to be in front of a live audience on a cruise ship with the floor moving with the ocean, I was like, I better know these presentations. I was so confident because for the first time doing it in front of a live audience, I had done the presentation so many times, I just walked in and did it. Do you realize this is the secret of really excellent confidence as a presenter? So that's step number 4. All right, step number 5 is really to block out your outreach calls, your follow-ups, keep track of who you've contacted. Make this and keep this a project. I promise you that once you've done a few of these and gotten a terrific response and signed up some students, some coaching clients, sometimes dream clients because they bonded with you, and if you speak from the heart on your expertise, they're attracted to you like, wow, I need what you have. That's why they come up afterwards. Here's my card, or I'm interested in your offer. Or, I want the free coaching session, or whatever it is. So step 5 is kind of gluing it all together. Set up a regimen. Schedule it on your calendar a few times a week. It's not the same as the obsessive outreach you have to do on these social media channels. This is, you search, you pinpoint a few, and you send out a few emails. That's it. It's a lot easier than having to construct all these messages. Use the same one every time. Hi, I'm so-and-so. I speak on this. I was wondering if you're interested in having a great presentation for your group, such and such. Do you have any events coming up? Would you like to talk about having me do a presentation? Here are the 3 or 4 things I talk on, and name them, like a topic 1, and it helps the audience do this, like a big benefit. It's topic 2. Like if I were talking to a group of coaches, I might say, in my email to the organizer, topic number 2, using presenting to attract and get dream clients. And that kind of says it all, 3-step process or something. And remember, the end of that email should be something like, would you like to discuss any of these as presentations for your group? If they are not interested, then you might not be a match for the group. It's a good thing to know. I don't want to present to a group that's not really going to respond to what I really do, what I'm good at, and so on. So those are the 5 steps. You might want to write them down, lay this out, create a folder. Step 5 is to organize this so you can do it from time to time. Keep at it regularly, improve all the pieces of it, schedule your next step forward. make it a real initiative, and this glues it all together. And once you start getting great responses and clients, um, please email me and tell me how addictive it is, how much fun you're having, and I would love that. Or comment on this video wherever you see it, because as I said in the beginning, of all the methods I've used to get clients, this is not only my favorite, but it's the singular most effective method I've ever used. Hey, I promised a special gift for you if you listened and watched all the way to the end. So here it is. I want to offer you a complimentary coaching session with me, which is probably one of the greatest things I could give, because I make sometimes thousands of dollars an hour for a coaching session, and from clients who've come back year after year in many cases. And I want to offer you a 30 to 40 minute one-on-one. It might be group if I get, so many responses to this, but it'd be probably a pretty small group. I'll limit it. So I'm going to offer you a coaching session with me, either one-on-one or individually on Zoom. If you want help doing any of the things I've talked about in this video, the outreach, getting the groups, what your topic should be. Sometimes speakers and coaches and consultants you're so close to what you do that you can't always codify it in a way that's attractive to people. And someone on the outside can help you do that. I love coaching speakers, authors, coaches, consultants, the whole group of entrepreneurs. I've done it for years. So I want to offer you a free coaching session to get a breakthrough, no sales pitch. If you're interested in my coaching program, great. If you're interested in this, please click on the link below, and it'll take you to a website and a page that's basically on my program called Coach Momentum. And it's for putting coaches and consultants and even business owners into an incredible momentum. And I also have one called Speaker Elite, and I'll have links to both of these below. You can go to the Speaker Elite or the Coach Momentum, and on each of those you can book a complimentary session with me. And book it, look at it, and you don't have to sign up for any coaching. Just get a breakthrough. It'll be my joy. If it gets so many responses here, I'll probably make it a group presentation. But there you go. I can't guarantee how long I'll keep this offer, but right now it's open. Grab it. Take action. I can help you with every part of this, from being a professional presenter, coach, trainer, my entire adult life. And it would be my great privilege to give you a breakthrough on this and help you move forward on one of these aspects I've laid out. So click on one of the links below. Let's get started. Get a breakthrough on this. Build presenting into your lead generation, into what you do. I can virtually guarantee you'll be glad you did. Once you get over the initial butterflies and you start feeling confident and looking forward to the presentations, it's like nothing else. Thank you for watching. I'm Alexander Van Buren. Please comment on this video. I'd love to hear what you think. And I think that's pretty much a wrap. I'll see you on the inside.